Chaos on campus. 4 people stabbed at the University of Texas.
Grabbed this guy that was standing like right there next to me by the shoulder and shoved it into his back.
One person killed. Students telling us what they saw during the attack.
It just didn't even seem real to me at first.
And one man is in custody tonight.
This is KVUE News at 5.
We have live team coverage tonight of that deadly stabbing at the Gregory Gym on the UT campus.
We begin with our own Terry Gruga, who's been out on campus this afternoon talking with students. And Terry, what's the latest information you've learned?
Quita and Mike, I can tell you the campus is eerily quiet at this hour. Normally this area would be filled with students and faculty. I'm going to step away. You can see it's mostly an active crime scene right now. To the right is Gregory Gym. To the left is Jester Hall. That is typically classrooms and even some dorm rooms there. But classes were canceled this afternoon and all of the events canceled as well. So we saw a lot of students leaving campus this afternoon right around 3 o'clock after 4 people were stabbed, 1 person dead, and a 20-year-old is now in custody. Again, students visibly concerned about what was happening, calling their parents and talking to them. I want to bring in my colleague Tony Pohetsky because he has been talking with police all day about the very latest on this investigation. You have some more information on the stabber.
And Terry, the big question here tonight that law enforcement authorities are trying to figure out is why that 20-year-old, authorities identified him as Kendrick J. White, went on this stabbing spree just several hours ago here on the UT campus. As you can imagine, they are trying to interview him. He has been booked into the Travis County Jail. They also are going through trying to determine whether or not they need to obtain search warrants for his computer, his personal cell phone, and other devices that might yield some clue as to why he went on this attack. Now, this all started around 1:30 this afternoon. UT police were called to this area after reports of a man carrying a large type of hunting knife, and when officers arrived, they found 4 people who had been stabbed. 1 of them died here at the scene. 3 others have been taken to the hospital. Again, authorities this afternoon tell us that there is no ongoing threat here on the UT campus. There had been reports earlier this afternoon that there potentially could be other danger, but authorities tell us that is no longer the case, that the campus is safe at this time. And Terry, as you can imagine, many investigators are working on this case right now from both the UT Police Department as well as APD homicide investigators are working this case as well, trying to get to the bottom again of why this person went on this stabbing spree here this afternoon.
Yeah, Tony, I want to let people know this cilantro truck you see here behind us is where everything started out this afternoon. We talked with a student. We'll hear from them here in just a few minutes. But UT President Greg Fenves also spoke to students just moments ago. Let's listen to what he had to say.
We ask that all our students call home, call your parents to let them know that you are safe. And we ask our faculty and staff to help each other and reach out to family members also. At this time of this awful tragedy, our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and the families of this incredibly senseless attack, which attacks the entire UT campus and UT family. This breaks my heart to have to announce this. It breaks my heart that any of our students are touched by tragedy. They come here to learn, to look to the future, and our faculty and staff are here to nurture our students and provide them the education that they deserve.
The reality is this is like a small city. You've got 50,000 students from all over the place that come here to learn. And so a lot of people have been talking today about this being the second violent incident to happen here in the last 2 years, visibly concerned, talking to their parents, trying to reassure them that they are okay. Tina Shively spoke with one of the students who witnessed this firsthand and did not even really know what was going on. Let's toss it over to her to see what she had to say. Tina?
That's right, Terry. I was one of the first reporters here on the scene just before 2 o'clock this afternoon, and the entire street here behind me was filled with students, many of them on their phones, calling loved ones, calling friends, many of them also on social media, trying to figure out exactly what was going on, many others reading the alerts that the university had sent out about the situation. The first student I talked to was standing in line at a food truck here, right in front of one of the victims who were stabbed. Here's how she described that scene.
And I heard a couple people scream, and I, thought it was some joke and they were just chasing each other. And I turned around and I saw this guy holding a knife, and at first I didn't even, realize what was going on, because he was just walking with like no facial expression, didn't look in a hurry or anything, and he just grabbed this guy that was standing like right there next to me by the shoulder and shoved it into his back, and then I didn't even realize what was happening because I was so shocked. But then this other guy screamed, "Get out of here," because apparently the guy had already stabbed his friend as well, and he was like slumped over on a table. And so then I just started running as fast as I could. It just didn't even seem real to me at first, like what was happening. Other than that, I don't know that I was thinking. I mean, I just saw the guy, and he was just eerily calm, so I almost didn't realize it was an attack happening. I thought it was some sort of joke that everyone was running away from, and then I saw him push it into the guy's back.
A very scary situation for that student, Rachel, only 19 years old and a freshman here at UT. Tonight, talking to students, a lot of them very confused about what is true and what is not. The chief of police just commenting minutes ago that there are a lot of rumors that have not been confirmed about motive and that the suspect may have been targeting specific groups. We also heard from President Fenves at that press conference Tony told us about. He said, if you haven't already called your parents, do that to ease their fears. Terry, back to you.
Yeah, very important to put everybody kind of at ease here today because, again, I think a lot of people were out and about. It was a late lunchtime. There were a lot of students, including our own intern, Erin Chancey, who happened to be right across the street at Jester Hall. You walk in, what did you hear?
So I walked in and immediately I saw people pointing at the northwest entrance, just yelling, he's here, pointing over there and running away. I had no idea what was happening. I didn't know what they were referring to, so I just ran into the bathroom and hid and tried to find out what was going on.
And at that point, you didn't even realize there was someone with a knife running around campus, right?
I had no idea. I walked in and I asked a girl, I said, do you know what's happening? She said there's a guy with a knife, and that was all she knew either. But I did not know for a while what was going on.
So you're in the bathroom. Do you hear the conversation in the hallway? Because we saw some pictures of people actually kneeling on him.
Yes, so the police were kneeling on him. I saw that as well when I came out. Basically, I hid in the restroom. Maybe my ears tuned out. I wasn't really sure what was going on. I just waited until I could tell it was probably safe to go back out when people were going in and out of the restroom, seeming leisurely, not hiding, and when I could hear voices outside. When I came out, there was a big crowd surrounding the area, and the police were kneeling on him and had him in handcuffs.
You're a junior. This is the second time in 2 years where there has been a death on campus. I went to a big school very similar to UT. What do you feel about your safety here?
It's really difficult to know. You know that obviously UTPD was on this really quickly, but it's so hard knowing that this could just happen to anyone. You can't predict when this is going to happen. I typically feel very safe on campus, but definitely after last year and this occurrence today, I'm probably going to be on edge for a while. Knowing how quickly UTPD responded, I do have faith in them to keep the campus safe, and I'm grateful that they were able to respond so quickly, but it's definitely tough to feel safe when something like this happens in a short period of time again.
We're glad you're safe.
Me
Thanks
too.
for being here.
Absolutely.
And for joining us and telling us a little bit about what you witnessed. Again,
Definitely.
Erin Chancey, a junior, one of our interns here at KVUE, who happened to be across the street at Jester Hall, which was packed with students. There were classes. There's even some dorm rooms in that building. So a lot of students in that building at the time of the stabbing, where police tell us the stabber ended up being arrested. Brandon Jones has been keeping track of the people who were injured in this stabbing. He joins us now live from the hospital with the latest. Brandon?
Well, Terry, I just checked in with Captain Rick Rutledge. He's with Austin Travis County EMS, and he told me that 3 people were taken here to UMC Brackenridge right now. They are still in serious injuries here. We also know that additional 1 to 2 people were treated for minor injuries, but they did not actually come here to the hospital. So I want to show you something right now. What you're seeing behind me here is the heavy police presence that has been here since we've been out here. You know, we did see students coming and going, but they were still a little too shaken to actually tell us and even talk to us about what was happening with some of their friends inside there. Now, I did hear that hospital officials say that the police presence will remain here for the time being, and of course we'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Terry?
Brandon, we appreciate that. We know that it is a stressful time when you have students who are injured and a lot of people wanting to get information. The hospitals work fervently to make sure they are safe and okay before releasing a lot of that information, so we'll keep you updated throughout the evening. Jason Puckett had heard, and a lot of us had heard today, that this stabbing involved possibly people wearing fraternity letters on their shirts, that maybe there was some targeting going on. No confirmation of that at this hour, right, Jason?
That's exactly right. There's no official word or release or anything of the sort saying that this had anything to do with Greek life at this point, but we did actually head over to West Campus because of the rumors that are swirling around right now, and we saw a lot of folks out there. We can confirm there was a large police presence, but again, no official word that this was related. We're going to show you some footage, though. While we were over there, we noticed not only APD patrols through the area, but also DPS out on motorcycles patrolling as well. We also saw those officers and troopers entering and leaving multiple apartments and homes out there. Again, as we said, this hasn't been officially tied to Greek life, but we actually spoke with some members of Greek life who are taking precautions right now. We spoke with one sorority board member who said they not only sent out a document to make sure all their members were okay, they then sent that document to the parents of all the sorority members to let them know that they're all right. And then they're taking one further precaution. You'll hear from her.
And then we're hired an extra security guard tonight. We already have one, but we hired an armed security guard just for extra safety purposes. So, I mean, yes, it's terrible for sororities and fraternities if that's actually being targeted, but I feel bad for everyone right now because there's not there's no end to it as of right now, and it's just still going on.
Okay, thanks to the news team out there. We wanted to let you know that Governor Greg Abbott released a statement tonight. He brought up the shooting in Dallas, which we will get to a little bit later in the show. He wrote, "Our prayers go out to all those affected by today's tragic events. I have been briefed by the Department of Public Safety on both incidents and have also talked to University of Texas at Austin President Greg Finvez. As the investigations into these heinous crimes continue, I have offered all available state resources to both Dallas and the University of Texas to assist in any effort."
Now, this is the second death on the University of Texas campus in just over a year. You'll remember the murder of UT student Haruka Weiser. She was killed on campus last April as she walked home from dance rehearsal late at night. A trial for her accused killer, Mikael Kreiner, is set for this October. And we will keep you updated on this developing situation throughout the show.
So what we're